So obviously I was very excited and thrilled to death to be here.
How do you know Jimbo? Is it old coaching staff?
Well, there's kind of, you know, there's kind of an unwritten club out there, guys that work for Nick Saban. I was Nick's defensive coordinator at Michigan State, and then knew Jimbo when they were together at LSU. And, we played, I coached in the SEC and obviously coached against them. And then, matter of fact, he took his LSU team out there, Arizona State, and I was the defensive coordinator out there. And we battled each other there and really had some great ball games too. So, you know, really got great respect for him. And he's, on top of it, he's a good guy too, which is, when you get to be my age, that's a pretty good factor, yeah.
So you coached under Saban and you coached under Jimbo. How are they different? How are they alike? Obviously, they're from the same tree as well.
They're both very structured. I think both programs, from a structural standpoint, are very similar. But there's a, you know, everybody's got their own style. You know, they're both very successful, both great. I know, I'm going to be a better coach after, you know, being around Jimbo, and I feel that way about Nick too. I feel like I'm equipped.
Proving much better.
Yeah, I improved myself, and you should. I mean, hell, regardless of where you're at, I think, you know, it's when you quit learning, you quit getting better.
Coach, talk about these young linebackers that have come in. I mean, some of these guys are huge.
Got a good group, got a good big group too. A couple of them are too big. We need to peel some cheese off of them there a little bit. But for the most part, really pleased with the young guys.
Is there a difference by the way you manage these linebackers when they come in, depending upon size?
Oh, you know, I guess you give the standard coach answer that, yeah, everybody's the same, but they're not. You know, you're all going to be treated fairly, but you got some people learn different levels and different paces, and I think, you know, when you break it down, some guys you got to teach differently, you know, but still we're all about repetition, and we've got a pretty good volume of things that they've got to learn. It's just a matter of time and being a good teacher, and that's my job.
What are some of the challenges that come along with you making the transition into the staff, as well as trying to coach up some of these young guys?
Well, I think that the thing that's helped me is that I have been in this defensive system before. When I was Sal and I were together at Michigan State, and that was, I think, having that kind of background and knowing what this defensive system's all about has been a great aid to me. And there's some new things they're doing here too that I've got to learn, but I think just that the experience I've had in the system really enabled me to, and I'm still trying to get caught up. Don't get me wrong, but that's what's helped.
Coach, where's Matthew Thomas play? Does he play any linebacker position?
He's playing the Mike and the Mac right now, but he knows them both, and you know, when we're in our nickel group, he could probably play either of them, but he's doing a really good job. I think he's further ahead than he was in the spring by far. Had a good summer.
Terrence Smith.
Really pleased with him. He's still. We've all got a long way to go before we're where we want to be for sure. But I think he's had these first few days of camp have been very good. I think he knows it maybe better than anybody out there. I think you know, having been in it last year and playing, he logged a lot of playing time if you look, and I think that's helped him a great deal too. He's just further along maybe than some of them that haven't been out there that much.
So the older guys sort of mentoring, say Purifoy as a freshman that really stands out.
Very much so. I think the great things about great programs, and that's what Jimbo's set up here too, is that, you know, we tell our older kids, you've got to train these young guys. You've got to help them. You've got to help them out and spend time with them and tell them what your expectations are. And you know, I wish we had more older guys in our group, but the ones that have played are really trying to do that. I think they are helping the younger guys.
Is Roderick Hoskins an end or a linebacker?
He's a linebacker for sure. We've made that move, and really pleased with him. I think he's come in just a few days. He's really advanced, I think, and gotten better. And again, it's a learning process with him too. But I think this is a good move. I think this is where he should be. I think he'll help us.
Is that the strong linebacker?
He actually is playing our weak side linebacker, but the way we line up, it doesn't always G and haw with the strong and the weak part of it too, and they both do very similar things.
In all your time coaching, have you ever had a linebacking core with so many movable pieces and so much talent? It almost seems like it's too deep at the position.
I got to be really honest with you. I've been pretty lucky on some places I've been, so we've had some pretty good linebacker cores, a couple of places.
Which one? I mean, give me one of them.
Miami for quite a while.
Yeah.
And had some pretty good cats there. And then when I was at the University of Florida, I thought we had a great linebacker. We had a lot of guys. You know, both of those had 4, 5, 6 guys that played in the NFL for a long time. And you know, when I was at Michigan State, we had a great linebacker corps. You know, I was a walk-around coordinator there, but Bill Sheridan used to let me help him out with the linebackers too. I'm joking.
So do you see any you know?
Very much. I see a lot of really potentially good things, but you know about potential. You know, it's what they do in practice every day that's going to make them who they are and going to make us what we are defensively. And we've got some very high expectations to live up to. And these are new guys that are in new roles, and we better come out ready to prove ourselves. That's what I'm telling you.
Where's the leg weight in all this once he comes back healthy?
You know, he's played both of them. That's really the beauty of the system too, because there's a lot of interchangeable positions in there, and we really would like to almost have them mirrored, but you know, there's some differences in the position based on ability and some things we ask them to do.
What about Reggie and EJ? It seems like they've shared a lot of time, and so I mean,
they have, and I think they're, you know, just what you talked about with the younger players. I think a lot of the older guys are helping each other too, which is, you know, you're making progress when you have that. And don't get me wrong, they're competing against each other, but the competition thing does nothing but raise your level of performance.
How important is it to have Terrence Smith, a guy that was in there all season last year, to be able to bring some of these guys along? Terrence? Oh,
with T, he played an awful lot of snaps, and he's already, I think, just from a confidence standpoint, you know, we're trying to put him more into where he is in a leadership role, but that's not something you can designate. I've done this a long time, and you can't.